Hi VC, Dale Gatefold 33 back with another video. Happy New Year everyone. I'm recording this on the 3rd of January and this is going to be my vinyl tag 2026 video. So so the vinyl tag, or the not very official or the unofficial or the semi-official, or probably by now I'm recording this, it's the compulsory vinyl tag, was put together by David Atkinson middle of December. Gave us plenty of notice, plenty of time. 20 fiendish questions with sub questions attached. So so thanks David for putting your head above the parapet and doing this. So so I pulled it together. I was going to do it on between Christmas and New Year, but stuff got in the way. Then I was going to do it on New Year's Day, but we had to go and visit relatives. Then I was going to do it yesterday, the 2nd, but I had to paint a bedroom, apparently. So now I'm doing it on the 3rd. So I pulled it all together. As I said, it was an awful lot to think about. And really interesting. And then I saw a video on New Year's Eve. Actually, it was by Richie, and it was a useful intervention actually, because what Richie said is don't be making these videos more than 20 minutes, especially us small fry, us minnows in the vinyl community. If people are making 40-50 minute responses, no one's going to watch them. You'd be wasting your time, and you'd be wasting everyone else's time as well. So thanks Richie for that helpful intervention. He said they got to be between 10 and 20 minutes if you want to get the footfall, if you want to get the eyeballs. And I'm getting on a bit now, thinking about retirement in the next few years, and I think 2026, maybe one of my sort of resolutions of 2026 is to actually push the content and push for that 50,000 subscriber limit. Try and get my subscription levels up to 50,000, and then when I do retire, I can live off the income from my back catalogue of videos. So and I would have gone off and made a really long rambling video if Richie hadn't have kind of intervened in that way. So that's good. So particularly as I am kind of known often to do a little bit of a drift off the subject matter in my videos, ramble a bit, and I'm a one take videos. So I need to be pretty tight, pretty disciplined if I'm gonna achieve that in a concise time period. So so what I've done for this video actually is I've set a timer for 15 minutes. So this video will cut off after 15 minutes. So that's going to give me the incentive to crack on through the questions and not kind of not drift off. Keep focus, keep on message, keep on driving on. I've got the questions down on my laptop here. My new laptop. I've got a Dell laptop in the Black Friday sales. A new one because my old one couldn't be upgraded to Windows 11 for some reason. So I had to get a new one. So the questions are here in Windows Notes. So I better get on with it, I suppose. So the first question was, show your best vinyl / other format musical purchase of 2025. So I suppose for me, other format than vinyl is wood. The biggest purchase I've probably ever made in my life, the biggest music related purchase I've made in my life is the shed / office / man cave, depending on who you speak to, and finally settled the ongoing dispute in the Gatefold 33 household about where all these bloody records going? Why are they creeping out of that small bedroom, and why they ended up in other rooms? Dale, sort it out. Don't worry, I'm on it. I can control it. I'm sorting it. And eventually, in 2025, I had to concede that I was out of control. And here we are. Here I am, 2 fleeces, enjoying myself in my shed, where I have my records and my stereo. However, you didn't come here for to talk about a shed. There's my, do you like that? There's my psychedelic blanket that my mother crocheted for me for my Christmas present to put over my knees in the shed when I'm down here. But anyway, you didn't come here for the shed. You came here for the music. So I better show something. So typically, certainly for the last 2 or 3 years, my sources of music tend to major on 2 areas: car boot sales or direct, small labels, small artists, directly supported via the artist or Bandcamp. That's where the bulk of my music buying comes from. So I thought I'd show a couple from that. I've been lucky the last 3 years, around sort of autumn time, I've stumbled across some nice little stacks of folk related albums, because it's always nice to get the folk out at in the autumn. And 2025 was no different. I was in a field in September, about to leave, empty-handed, and I saw a guy just put a stack of records on a table. I was there like a shot before anyone else. Went through it. It was all kind of folk, acoustic blues related. And I was going through and said, how much are the records? And he said, they're £3 each or 2 for a £5. And I went through, and about 5th or 6th album down, I came across this one. And I eventually got a small stack of stuff that looked interesting. Some I knew, some I didn't know. And he gave me a price, and they ended up being about £2 each. So that was great. And the album that really was exciting to find is this one. This is, sorry about the glare, Davy Graham, Folk Blues and Beyond, a nice original, really clean copy Decca mono. So I was familiar with the album. I kind of got a CD out of the library 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, that I had a rip of. So I knew the music, so I knew I liked it. So that was really, really nice to find. If I was going to show something from the small sort of independent side of my collecting, an artist that I follow, Phil Heeks, who has a number of different kind of monikers, but this is British Stereo Collective is his main one. This is a 12-inch single, themed around Blake 7, the British sci-fi series of the 70s. And because he's bringing an album out that's kind of themed around that soon, but this is a 12-inch single from that I bought. Lovely kind of sci-fi synth soundtracky type music, which I love. So it could have been that, or I could have shown 12-inch single, because although 2024 was the year of the 12-inch, that carried on into 2025. And in January, I went to a record fair in Winchester and picked up a stack, a nice stack of Susie and the Banshees 12-inch singles from Richard, and this is one of them. So I could have showed that, or I could have showed a 7-inch single that I picked up more 7-inch singles in 2025 than anything else, and loads and loads, particularly one source where I got a few stacks of from a few visits, and they were very cheap, so I was just picking out anything that looked synth pop related, early synth pop related, like this. So could have been that. However, it's none of those. So my best music purchase actually happened right at the end of the year. So I got an email in my inbox on 17th of December, 16th, 17th of December, one of those Camel price alerts from Amazon, the Camelizer app, for this album, Bob Marley and the Wailers' Catch a Fire. But it's not this album, Bob Marley and the Wailers' Catch a Fire. That's an original. So you think, well, how can that be your best purchase? So what this is the original 4-track tapes put onto vinyl of the original recording from Kingston, Jamaica, or from Jamaica, that the Bob Marley and the Wailers made, that then they came over to the UK, to Island Records, and Chris Blackwell took it into the studio, into the 24-track Island Records studio, and added overdubs to the album to then generate what would become the original press that got released, that, you know, kind of was overdubbed to beef it up, to make it attractive to the rock market, the rock, you know, rock fans, to convert them to reggae, and it achieved that. And this is a brilliant album, but this is also a brilliant album, more stripped back, and it's got a couple of extra tracks which include High Tide or Low Tide, which is absolutely beautiful. I originally became aware of this 20 odd years ago, when the deluxe edition came out that had that full album on CD, but it had never been issued on vinyl. So however, you know, why did this came about? Because I hadn't cancelled the alert. This came out 2020, something like that, and I ordered it from Amazon. It arrived, and the kind of fatal flaw on it, you probably can't see that, is pressed in Kingston, Jamaica, a limited numbered edition. I'm not sure the quality control at the pressing plants in Jamaica at that time was very high, and the first record I got, it was warped and crackly and pops, and, you know, not enjoyable. I sent it back, got a replacement, and that was the same. So when this, and I kind of abandoned it then and thought, oh well, forget it. There was a Japanese press that I'd seen about 2016. I became aware of, but that sold out like anything. That was the original Zippo lighter version. So you know, they were going for over £100. So I thought, well, I'm not going to go for that. So I kind of resigned myself to, you know, not getting that version on vinyl. But I'd say this alert arrived, and I thought, I'll give it a go. So it arrived on the 19th of December. I opened it, put it on the turntable, didn't clean it, put it on the turntable, trepidation. It looked quite flat, a very slight warp. First side played fine, you know, maybe one pop. I thought, oh, great, fingers crossed. Turned it over, second side, again, played fine, only a pop. Absolutely delighted. Finally, the quest that I didn't know I was on, because I'd forgotten about it, was over, and you know, I have now a really nice, or certainly definitely an enjoyable copy of Catch a Fire, the original 4-track stripped back version on vinyl, and it is a lovely listen. As I said, the other album, you know, the original album that got released, is also a great listen, but really happy to get that. So that's my that's my best, you know, late to the party find in 2025. So that's the first question done. So I better move on to the second question now, which is, share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. So yeah.